The Covenant of the Apocalypse. Chapter 1, The Kidnapped Boy. Hey, who are you? Put me down. On the street shrouded in night, Lin Mo fell into a strange situation. The lights were dim all around, and he was hanging helplessly from an old tree bound by a cold rope, and below him was a silent park, and the sound of vehicles was faintly heard at the end of the street, but it seemed to be getting farther and farther away from him. He wants to struggle, but finds himself bound by a strange force that he can't get out of no matter what. Suddenly, an indifferent voice came from ahead. You finally woke up. The voice came from a young girl, dressed in a black robe with a mask on her face, and her eyes could be faintly seen as cold as a pool of cold water. The girl's temperament is unusually unworldly, as if she comes from a different dimension. Lin Mo stared at her in surprise, his brows furrowed slightly. Who are you? Why kidnap me? The girl's eyes were still indifferent, and she said, I am the Apocalypse, and this is your destiny. Fate? What fate? Lin Mo was a little confused. The girl was silent for a moment, then her tone became more threatening. I don't want you to ask any more irrelevant questions. You just need to follow the 4 guidelines, otherwise you won't be able to continue living. Lin Mo was shocked in his heart. What kind of character is the girl in front of him? Her threat seems to be impossible to ignore. Criterion 1. When can mention the pen to control Lori? The Book of Revelation coldly began to enumerate. Criterion 2. Wu Neng has a wife on the bed. Her tone was extremely flat. Criterion 3. Advance can be expected to be pressed by Zhengtai. The voice seems to sink down for a moment, giving people an extremely eerie feeling. Criterion 4. Retreat can raise your buttocks to meet the crowd. She then accentuated her tone, and this last criterion made Lin Mo a little unresponsive. What the hell? Lin Mo's eyes widened, completely unable to understand the girl's words. Apocalypse didn't seem to intend to explain more. She glanced at Lin Mo coldly. However, you only need to abide by these 4 rules, and I will leave the rest to you. Lin Mo felt confused. What was this girl talking about? What exactly does she want to do? Just as he was about to ask more questions, Apocalypse waved his hand, and a mysterious force in the air lifted Lin Mo and pulled him into an unknown space at an astonishing speed. Chapter 2, The World of Two-Dimensional. When Lin Mo woke up again, he was no longer on that dim street, but in a world full of fantasy. It's like some kind of two-dimensional virtual world, surrounded by unreal scenes, floating buildings, fluttering points of light, and huge floating screens, all of which seem to come from some kind of surreal world. What is this place? Lin Mo looked around and felt deeply confused. He felt something change in his body, and his soul seemed to be part of this world. When he turned around again, the black-robed girl stood not far away, still looking indifferent. This is the place where you have to complete your mission, the two-dimensional world. As long as you follow the guidelines and complete my requests, it will all be over. The Apocalypse said indifferently. Lin Mo raised his eyebrows. I don't understand your request at all. Apocalypse suddenly smiled slightly, and there was a hint of evil and provocation in that smile. Don't you understand? In this world, everything is testing you. You must venture through this world, unlock its secrets, and follow 4 guidelines along the way. You. How do you know I can do it? Lin Mo's mood was a little heavy. This is your fate, Lin Mo. The Book of Revelation replied coldly. As her words fell, Lin Mo felt a wave of dizziness, and suddenly a beautiful girl appeared in front of him. She has long blonde hair, eyes like 2 shining gems, and wears a classic red dress, and white boots under her feet exude a hint of frost. She smiled and said softly, You're here to challenge me, boy. Lin Mo was stunned. Who are you? The girl waved her hand gently, and a strange light surrounded Lin Mo, making him feel an incomparable oppression in an instant. I am the guardian of this world, and your challenge starts from this moment. Chapter 3, The Trial of the Rules. From that day on, Lin Mo's life was completely changed. He is forced to participate in various adventures in this two-dimensional world, and each mission requires him to complete the 4 guidelines set by the Apocalypse. Criterion 1. When Neng's pen controls Lori. During one mission, Lin Mo needs to team up with a young girl to solve a strange puzzle. This girl's name is Lori, and her temperament is innocent and cute, but she has amazing intelligence. Lin Mo found that he was able to use his charm in front of her to skillfully resolve many tricky situations. Criterion 2. Wu Neng has a wife on the bed. This guideline is even stranger. During a battle, Lin Mo is forced to face off against a mysterious female foe, and in the process, he must use all of his martial arts skills and establish a special relationship with the wife foe. After this incident, Lin Mo's understanding of this criterion became more and more ambiguous. Criterion 3. Advance can be expected to be pressed by the body. In this world, there are many mysterious teenage characters who are innocent and cute on the outside, but they also have extraordinary powers. Lin Mo had to embark on a stumbling adventure with one of the teenagers, Zhengtai, and felt a wonderful connection in the process. Criterion 4. Retreat can raise your buttocks to meet the crowd. This last criterion made Lin Mo fall into extreme confusion. Every time he steps back, he has to establish an intimate relationship with a male character in this world, and these relationships are not simply friendship or love, but a contract full of challenges and confusion. Each time he completes a criterion, Lin Mo gains more power and comes close to unlocking the truth of this world. Chapter 4. The Secret Revealed. As Lin Mo's adventure deepened, he gradually discovered that these 4 principles were not simply a challenge, but the beginning of a larger conspiracy. These trials set up by the Book of Revelation are actually to guide Lin Mo to unravel the true face of this world. It turns out that the two-dimensional world he lives in is not just a virtual game, but a manipulated reality, where everyone and all events are in the plan of a powerful being. And Lin Mo is a key player in this plan. Only when he successfully completes these 4 principles can he break the limitations of this world and unravel its true face. In the end, when all the mysteries were solved, Lin Mo stood at the top of the world, meeting the final fate. He finally understands that no matter how the world is set, the only one who can really change everything is himself. What is your purpose, Apocalypse? Lin Mo finally looked the girl in the eye. A smile appeared behind the mask of the Apocalypse. You finally understand that this is just the beginning. As her words dissipated, Lin Mo decided that no matter what odds he faced, he would challenge this fate and fight for his last freedom. Chapter 5. Broken Fate. As Lin Mo completed the 4 principles, his strength gradually increased, and he gradually understood the working mechanism of this two-dimensional world. He finds himself no longer the ordinary teenager, but a key figure in some kind of prophecy. Every time he completes a criterion, he gains a mysterious power, something that seems to come from the deepest part of this world, and every time he gains this power, Lin Mo also feels uneasy in his heart, as if he is carrying an unbearable burden. One day, as he prepares to move on to his next mission, he meets a familiar face. It was a girl he had met on an adventure, Su Shuling. She is an elven girl from another world with amazing healing powers. A hint of unease flashed in her eyes, as if she was hiding some secret. Mo, it's not just your fate. Actually, this two-dimensional world is a huge trial, and you. Su Shuling's tone was low, as if she felt powerless about all this. I know. Lin Mo replied calmly, his heart was already full of questions. Everything seemed to be revealing some great mystery to him, and all he could do was go one step at a time. Su Shuling was silent for a while, and finally spoke, do you know the true identity of the Apocalypse? She is a created being, and her purpose is to attract all who are eligible into the world and then absorb their life force for her own use. Lin Mo's heart was shocked after hearing this. He had already felt that Apocalypse was not an ordinary person, but he didn't expect her to be such an existence. So what do we do? Lin Mo asked. Su Shuling said in a low voice, the only way is to break the shackles of this two-dimensional world. Only when you break all this in the Book of Revelation can you truly regain your freedom. And to do that, you have to face the ultimate challenge against the master behind this world. The master behind it. Lin Mo was shocked. Who is that? There was a hint of fear in Su Shuling's eyes. This world was originally created by an existence called Creator. The Book of Revelation is just a doppelganger of it, and everything is actually under the control of this Creator. And you, as a key figure in this trial, must fight against this Creator in order to truly liberate all those trapped here. Lin Mo's heart set off turbulent waves. He had thought that all the difficulties were just to complete the 4 rules of the Book of Revelation, but now he realized that it was much more complicated than he had imagined. Not only does he have to break the grip of the Book of Apocalypse, but he also has to challenge this mysterious Creator. What if I succeed? Lin Mo's voice was a little muffled. If you succeed, the world will be shattered, and all those trapped in it will be free. But if you fail? Su Shuling's voice paused, her gaze solemn, then, this world will always exist, and no one will be able to escape. Lin Mo took a deep breath and decided not to hesitate any longer. He is no longer the teenager trapped in fate, but to find a way out for himself and for all those who are trapped. Chapter 6. Against the Creator. After a period of preparation, Lin Mo was finally ready to confront the Creator. This time, instead of relying on the guidance of the Book of Revelation, he began to find his own strength. He understands that the true test of this adventure is not only a duel of strength, but also a challenge to the mind, will, and fate. Our goal is the heart of the Creator. Su Shuling told him, its existence is hidden in the deepest part of this world, and only by entering the core can it completely break the restrictions of this world. Lin Mo nodded, his heart unwavering. I understand that all this, from this moment on, is my own choice. On a turbulent night, Lin Mo and Su Shuling finally came to the territory of the Creator. It's a giant city full of light, surrounded by countless mist and hidden traps. In the center of the city is a huge tower, the top of which constantly shimmers like a star. That's the heart of the Creator. Su Shuling pointed to the top of the tower, her tone full of uneasiness. we must break through the defense of the tower in order to get close to the core. Lin Mo's eyes became determined, he took a deep breath, and then walked in the direction of the tower without hesitation. The defenses inside the tower are very strong, and countless virtual monsters are attacking from all directions. Every monster was powerful and abnormal, but Lin Mo didn't back down. He is no longer the boy who only knew how to rely on the rules, and now he has the experience and wisdom accumulated in countless adventures. Forward! Lin Mo shouted loudly, and he led Suoshuling to break through the levels. Finally, they came to the very top of the tower. Lin Mo was shocked by the sight in front of him. The figure of the creator was not as powerful as he imagined, but a seemingly illusory existence, like a ball of light full of energy. This ball of light emitted strong energy fluctuations, as if it was in control of everything. You're here. The creator's voice came from the ball of light, as if out of nowhere. I've been waiting for you for a long time, Lin Mo. What the hell do you want to do? Lin Mo asked loudly, anger burning in his eyes. I just want to fulfill my mission and create a perfect world of my own. The creator's voice remained indifferent, and you, Lin Mo, are just a small pawn in my plan. You're wrong. Lin Mo's voice was resolute, I will no longer be your pawn, I will break all this. As his words fell, a fierce battle broke out. The duel between Lin Mo and the creator is not only a clash of power, but also a contest of wills. As time passed, Lin Mo's power gradually surpassed that of the creator, and he finally broke the shackles of this world. With the collapse of the creator, the two-dimensional world begins to disintegrate, and all those trapped in it gradually regain their freedom. Chapter 7, The Choice of Fate. When Lin Mo stood in the shattered two-dimensional world, he finally felt extremely relaxed. He knew that this adventure was over, that the choice of fate was in his hands, and that all the trials, challenges, and four principles had finally become his bridge to freedom. Suoshuling stood beside him and said to him with a smile, You did it, Lin Mo. You have broken the shackles of fate and regained your freedom. Lin Mo's gaze became more determined, and he knew that no matter what kind of difficulties he faced, he would choose to meet the challenges and create his own future. This is my destiny. Lin Mo said in a low voice, his gaze firmly looking ahead. With the collapse of the two-dimensional world, Lin Mo and Suoshuling embarked on a new journey. Although this adventure is over, the real journey has just begun.